Hello everyone. Today we want to talk about a piece of Zen wisdom that I find very interesting, based on content provided by the Buddhist Practice Association of Australia. Did you know it actually found a clue leading to awakening within the most ordinary thing we might drink every day, a cup of tea? Let's look at this poem. Well, this statement is quite bold, isn't it? 3 sips, and one attains the way. It's just drinking 3 sips of tea. How exactly can it guide us to a state as profound as the Tao the Way? This sounds a bit incredible. Let's take a look. That's right. This is the core question we are going to explore today. How can such a simple cup of tea lead us to enlightenment? To find the answer, we will follow the guidance of this poem, exploring it sip by sip. This is the roadmap for our exploration today. We will first look at the poem in the cup. Then, sip 1, the awakening. Sip 2, the focus. Sip 3, meeting yourself. Following that, we will use the metaphor of the unchanging screen to explain this concept. Finally, we will discuss why the modern voice of wisdom is so important. We will break it down step by step. 1. The poem in the cup. First, let's unlock this slightly mysterious verse. We start with the first line, as it describes an experience that almost everyone can relate to. 2. Sip 1, the awakening. This can be said to be the most direct effect of tea. According to the reference material, this first step is something everyone can understand, and it's an effect that our body can directly feel. We probably all have experience with this, especially when we are groggy in the morning. A cup of strong tea goes down, and your spirit immediately returns. You might not even be able to fall asleep. This is the first layer of meaning in the poem, the most direct physical sensation. The word used in the poem is a, which refers to a state of mental dullness or confusion. Therefore, the function of the first sip is very direct. It first dissipates this spiritual fog from the physical level. 3. Sip 2, the focus. Here, we begin to clear the dust of the mind. You will notice that this is built on the foundation of the first sip, ascending to a higher level. That is to say, we are progressing from physical alertness to mental clarity. Think about it. When you are highly focused on savoring that second sip of tea, concentrating only on the taste, you will find that the messy thoughts in your mind seem to slowly disappear. The mind simply becomes still. Our reference material uses a beautiful analogy, saying it's like a gentle drizzle that allows the light dust floating in the air to quietly settle down completely. This is the light dust mentioned in the poem, which in modern terms is the so-called distracting thoughts. The state to be achieved with the second sip is a high degree of concentration and focus. Your mind is no longer disturbed by these whirling thoughts. For sip 3, meeting yourself, we finally arrive at the core secret of this poem. Sip 3, meeting yourself, where we discover the always present observer. After all this groundwork, what exactly is the Tao the Way? To answer this question, we can first ask ourselves one thing. What is the difference between the taste of the tea and the you who is tasting it? Our reference material uses a very exquisite distinction to explain this point. The key lies in observing what changes and what remains unchanged. Look, this becomes very interesting. Let's compare. What are the changing things? The tea's flavor, it changes and disappears. The thoughts in your head and the sounds you hear are also coming and going, right? But have you ever considered the you who can know the taste? Who can know the thoughts? Who can know the sounds? Has that awareness itself ever changed? No one. This ever-present capacity for awareness is actually your true nature. Therefore, the Tao, or what we call self-nature, refers to this unborn, undestroyed, unpolluted awareness. It is able to perceive all your experiences, but it is not affected by these experiences itself. So the key is here. The Tao is not something you have to laboriously pursue outside to attain. It is more like a sudden moment when you realize, it has been here all along. That kind of feeling. 5. The unchanging screen. I know that what I just said might still sound a bit abstract. So, to make this concept clearer, our reference material provides a very wonderful modern analogy. It starts with a classic phrase, in the 3 realms, the mind is the master. This phrase essentially says that the entire world we experience is, ultimately, a projection of our mind. You can imagine it this way: the analogy of the mind as a screen is truly excellent. Your awareness itself is the screen. All your experiences, whether they are thoughts, feelings, images seen, or sounds heard, are simply the images being played on the screen. The most important point, the images constantly change, right? The movie changes, but the screen itself is constant, clear, and completely unaffected. Your worries, your joys, your fears, all these are just brief scenes being constantly played and then disappearing on the screen of your awareness. And when you can understand this level of relationship, that is the so-called observing the mind. Think about it, when you truly realize that you are the eternal screen, and not the fleeting movie on the screen that is happy one moment and sad the next, you will no longer be dragged along by every dramatic plot twist in your life. This is the essence of liberation. 6. The modern voice of wisdom. We come to the final part, the modern voice of wisdom. We need to talk about why this kind of translation is so important. That is to say, why is an analogy like the screen so crucial? Regarding this point, the source material itself directly mentioned the phrase, "It is indeed very difficult for a highly realized person to speak downwards." What does this mean? It means that the truth spoken from a very high state of realization might be completely incomprehensible to us ordinary people. At this time, a clever translation is needed so that it can be understood by the modern mind. So, when explaining these ancient wisdoms, we need to find a language that the modern consciousness can truly grasp and listen to. The goal is to make these profound life experiences understandable and accessible to everyone, and no longer just the exclusive domain of saints on mountaintops. This is why communicating in modern language is so important. Key takeaway and next step. So, to summarize the key takeaway from our analysis, your awareness is the eternal, unchanging screen upon which your entire life is staged. Next time you are drinking tea, try to feel it. You are not the temporary, changing tea flavor, you are the constant, tasting awareness. You are not the movie, you are the screen. Finally, I will leave you with a question to ponder. What happens when you begin to place your attention more on the screen itself, rather than the movie playing on it? I'll leave this question for you to slowly realize in your daily life. Thank you very much for watching this content analysis.